Okay, guys, welcome to the Perspective Show, and it's a show where everybody comes to the table and then share your perspective on various topical issues as it affects us as human beings. My name is Samson, and I have Nita here with me, and I have Mr. Emmanuel.
Ezenwa.
Wonder Ezenwa. Are you entitled?
Well, I was born into that.
Okay. Okay, so we promise that this is going to be an interesting conversation, and you're going to have one or two things to, learn from, our conversation. Should we get into the questions straight away, or we should?
Of course, we should get into the questions.
Okay, I'm seeing some tricky question here, and I'm trying to run from this very first one. So I'm going to be pushing it to Mr. Emmanuel. So the first question says, in your opinion, are women generally underrepresented in Nigerian leadership?
I had to breathe in before I answer the question. Because here we have a woman here. You understand?
I probably should have put the question to her.
If that won't be just for you to have pushed the question direct to her, because the men have to do justice before we push it to women. Now, let me be frank with us. Here in Nigeria, women are not well represented. They are not well represented in so many ways, be it at the local government level, to the state level, to the presidential level. They are not represented very well. In fact, let me even tell you, the way I see Nigeria going, I don't think in the next 50 years we are ready for women to be put in their better place in the society.
That's a very bold and audacious, prophecy, so to say.
I agree.
It's not just a prophecy.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree. Actually, so if we look at the recent trends, we can see that Nigeria has slowly walked into allowing women in government roles and everything. We are slowly accepting it, not at the pace at which other countries are doing that, but we are slowly getting into that. We can see, even though there are just a few numbers, but we can say like there are 4 women currently, 4 previously, but currently there are 3 women that are in the Senate House. So it's a process. We should also understand that Nigeria, we have this patriarchal system in our head. So they may not accept it, but they are slowly working into it. They are recognizing that there's no need for inclusivity in our space currently. So it's not the way he said it was like a fixed thing, like in the next 50 years. But I think in the next 10 years or 5 years, rather, we'll start seeing more women in government office.
My brother, can I tell you something? I like to be franco. You see, not only the religion, but when you look at the systems of Nigeria, our culture, does our culture allow women to be the rulers, to come and rule over me as a man?
I wouldn't go down.
No.
Okay, so our culture doesn't allow women, but previously that same culture doesn't allow women to be title holders in our community. But right now we have women that are being crowned chief. They are given chieftaincy titles in our community.
Sorry,
the same culture we are even in Igbo land is happening. Like women are being given, like this Chimamanda. Okay. She is a title holder in her place.
But let's understand something. I want to point something to you. When you're talking about title holder, there's a difference between imposing a woman, making a woman to be the head. You know what our religion says?
So I get where you're coming from, yes, but yes. I'm just trying to drive in the point that you said women are not allowed to be title holders. So I'm just like, they're not allowed to be given posts in the community, even in our culture. So I'm just driving in the point that we've moved from that place. Now women are given chieftaincy titles. So if we keep up at this pace, you'll be surprised. You should not be surprised rather. One day, you will hear that in a community, a woman is being crowned the king. Possibly they're laughing for you.
Maybe the
something
person
like
will become like another Queen Amina.
Let me do this. I don't want us to veer off, from the main conversation. So let me take us back to it. The main conversation is that, in your opinion, do you think women are generally underrepresented in Nigerian leadership? And if I get you right, you feel like they are underrepresented, right?
Very much.
And you share the same sentiment.
Yes, we are actually.
I really don't think so. I beg to disagree.
Okay, why?
This is the reason. Okay, for proper perspective, presently, we run a representative government.
Yeah.
It's a democracy, right?
Yeah.
And when you have the executive, you have the legislative arm. And the legislative arm are actually the ones that are representing us, which comprise of the Senate and the House of Representatives. Presently, women makes up 4.47% of the assembly. 8 women in the Senate, 13 women in the House of Representatives. And by the way, I'm proud to have produced one of the 13 in the House of Representatives.
But that is not good enough.
I just put that out to give a perspective. It doesn't mean that I'm supporting your view. The reason why I said I'm not supporting your view is this. For you to discuss the subject of being underrepresented, you will need to come from a place of country like Pakistan that has a clause in their constitution that says that so amount of percentage has to be reserved exclusively for women. We don't have such in Nigeria. So the reason why I don't share that sentiment is because I'm asking myself, when we bring up subject like this, it seems to me that we are trying to set up, women against men or men against men. It's not a competition. In democracy, when you feel up to it, you go to the poll. You contest for an election.
Let me just ask you a question. Okay. So you said 8 women in the Senate and 13 women in the House of Rep. So compare that number with the numbers of the men in both houses.
None of them.
Is it balanced? So
that is what I'm saying.
still asking the question. We used to say we are being represented well, like women are being represented fully in the government.
None of those people at the assembly are being dashed
into the place.
Are being dashed their position.
Yes.
They contested.
They contested for
those that contested. So for example, I said I'm proud to have produced one, which is Honorable to unpack representing my federal constituency. She contested against men.
Okay.
Under which party?
Under the ruling party. Now, nobody forced her to come and contest. Nobody dashed her the ticket. She felt up to it. Okay. She bought the form. She has confidence in her ability to, go to the poll with those men, and she defeated them. She's a returning rep, as a matter of fact, not a first timer. So what I'm saying is, don't let us, paint this, scenario as though we're pitching men against women, or there is a competition, or there is something that has been laid down that says that, for every arm of government, it's also percentage must be for women. It is only when you have that you can begin to talk about underrepresentation. If you don't have that, it's an open field, level playing field. I think I will put the blame on women. Why are they not coming out?
Oh, can I come in here?
Oh, okay.
Let me point something to you.
Okay.
If you look at it from the angles of our culture and the religions, you understand? For instance, we have 2 main religions here. If you are even going to put the traditional religion too, you see their own perspective aligned with what is happening, whereby they don't want to allow the women to come up. What I'm trying to say is that, like for instance, Islam, as it's being practiced in Nigeria here, doesn't allow women to have that freedom to want to dominate the men. In fact, the last president, Buhari, said that the place of the women is inside the kitchen. Do you understand? It was that bad. That's he's just telling me like.
Did you say inside the kitchen or the other room?
The other room now. When you say the other room, where are you talking about? Bedroom now? You are talking about bedroom. You are talking about kitchen. Okay, for that kind of mindset, I'm talking of Islam. Islam doesn't allow for women to come out like that. For instance, if you go to the north now, will you be telling me that all those northern people that are in Puda, all those ones that doesn't come outside, they should come outside and be represented and open their veils? Is that what you are telling me?
Okay.
Now you talk about Christianity too. It's only that now things are opening up small from that Christian angle, whereby a woman can become maybe a bishop, a woman can become an apostle, become all these kind of things. Right now, I'm telling you what is happening in Christendom right now. But I am telling you from the angle of the 2 religions we have in Nigeria, they are not allowing women to come out. So when you are talking about maybe why are the women not coming out, sometimes their religion forbid them from coming out like that. Some of them who have this kind of extremely...
religion is a major impediment?
Not just a religion. I'm talking about the culture.
Okay.
And you understand? Talking about culture. Culture as well is also affecting women. So what I'm trying to say in effect is that there should be room to encourage the women. We should encourage the women to come out. So because some of them that came out, okay, for instance, Natasha came out now. And from my investigations, this woman have performed very well. Can I tell you that our people are ready to die for her? She has performed well. Within 1 year, she's been in that place. She's done very well. So why don't we give women more space to
So if I get you correctly, and if I get you correctly, Nita, so what both of you are saying in essence is that we should, even when the women are not willing to come out, we should just go out of our way, drag them from their house, dash them the ticket, take them to the poll, and then force them on people even when they are not willing to come.
That's not what we're saying. Okay, I don't know if I'm speaking for Mr. Ezenwa here, but that's not what I am saying. First, we don't run that kind of government in Nigeria, so you have to. There's a process to it. You have to pick up the form and every other thing, and obviously you have competitors, contenders against you. So I think let us use Natasha as a case study right now. Natasha won because she has the love of her people already. So compared to the male candidates, our people found them wanting, and she was like the perfect person. They felt this person would go out there, represent us well, and speak our mind, and she was placed in position. But first, we need to understand that was because our people supported her. If she did not have the support,
they supported her.
Yes,
because she came out.
Out in the first place. Yeah. So, and then there are still other several candidates. Currently in Anambra State now, there is a female candidate that is coming out for the governorship post. And I just saw the post, and I already saw people telling her that Abga owns that state, and Abga has Soludo as the contender, the governor already, that they want him to come back for his second term. So we need to, the people first need to understand the need to support the female candidates, but our female are minutely represented in this post, in this position. Now they are coming up from the track record of this person has been here already, this person has done so much. What have you as a woman done for your community? What have you done for your people? Sure you get. So, and it's put her in a place where, from what I understand, a whole lot of women come from this place of, even if they are doing something, they will still want to attach themselves under a man, like, okay, my husband and I, my family and I. They are not giving themselves identity. Ask an average woman, who are you? Maybe she's married. She'll tell you that my name is Mrs. And then you just pause, madam, I'm asking, who are you? Tell me your name, tell me who you are. But we already have this notion of wanting to refer back to a title that we just got, and forgetting that before we became mothers, before we became wives, we were individuals, we were people. So our communities need to start seeing us like that, and not go back to what have you done as a woman for your community. She could have been doing something, but she was already representing herself under her husband.
You know what I'm going to do? We may come back to this question. Let me take us to another question. But before I take, and I'm going to throw the question, to you. But before I throw the question, can I pour it to you so that you can step? It's going to hit you.
It's not only how you pour for.
Okay,
Me too, you pour for me.
You get hand, you pour for yourself.
Oh, wonderful.
Don't you now talk to women, they underrepresented.
Women. Yeah, we know they are underrepresented. They say ladies.
Pour for
yourself.
So, let me wait.
Okay, you want to wait for me?
You have done good in that, in that regard.
Okay, wait for me.
So, this question goes to you, Nita. Would you support a female presidential candidate right now in Nigeria?
Okay, so I would like to think I'm somebody that look at track record also, right? So I'm not going to support a presidential candidate because she is a woman like me. I'll need to see what she has done so far. In previous posts she has held, previous positions she has functioned, how well did she perform? So I'm not going to just support because she is a woman. She picked the presidential form. We need to support a woman. What has she done? we should understand that Nigeria is so big that even the men that are handling it are having issues handling it. What about a woman that still needs to handle her family and every other thing? So if she doesn't have like a good track record of that would convince me otherwise that okay, this woman is good for this post, she can handle whatever we throw at her as a country, I don't think I will support her. But if I can see traces of this man, she's great, let's do this, I'll leave her my vote.
Can I come in?
Okay.
My brother, let me tell you, Nigeria is not right for women to be president. Nigeria is, as presently constituted, is not like Namibia, where a woman and the vice will become president and vice president in Namibia. That is because their mentality have shifted from what we have right now. You understand? Even the men, they don't have that kind of boldness, or they don't have that mindset to allow their women to come out. They feel that the moment a woman begin to come out, that they will begin to ride on their men.
So I think you are putting this from a perspective of a generation before, but currently I think more men are open to the idea of their women handling posts in offices, government houses, and every
Now
other
I think
thing.
I have issues with both of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just contradicted yourself. So I asked you, would you support a female presidential candidate?
Mm-hmm.
And you gave me your take.
Yeah.
Look, I found that contradictory coming from your initial position that women are underrepresented. So you said to me
Okay.
that if you found a woman on the ballot, you're not just going to give her your vote.
Mm-hmm.
You're still going to consider her competency and all that. Okay, let me do this. Let me put you on the spot.
Okay.
If you find an Obi Ezekwesili or Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala on the same ballot with, let's say, an Atiku,
Okay.
which way would you vote?
I'll definitely be going for one of these women that you place there,
Okay, why?
because these women, they've handled post-government offices and they've handled it well.
So which takes me back to my original sentiment.
Yeah.
Despite their stellar performance when they had, their moments in government, why is it that none of them ever aspired to that very office?
If you remember what I said initially when this conversation started, I said Nigeria, we have this patriarchal system in our head. Even from the way Mr. Izenwata is sounding, you understand that it's coming from a place of, I'm a man, I should be in control, I should be in charge, I should lead. That is just it. But I think we've gotten to a time where men need to also take a step back and, okay, a woman should lead. Now, you're saying I sounded contradicting, but I said something. I'm not going to just vote for a woman because she is a woman. Her track record, what she has done, the offices she has held, how well did she perform, those are where I'll be coming from. Those are where my votes and every other thing will be coming from. Atiku, I've not really followed the story, but with the bits I've heard, they said he has this track record of, let's say, spending. The man is shady, actually.
Okay,
that is what they say.
That's okay.
If you are to come in there,
Okay.
these ones that are here now, most of them, their hands are soiled.
No, that is what I'm saying.
So let's not go there, because what we want, for instance, in Nigeria, is for us to be like China. China was rated as a third world country in the 60s. Malaysia, at a time, Malaysia came to Nigeria in the 60s to come and take palm kernels, the seedlings. But right now, look at what they are doing. Every one of them have transformed their own country. But our own, because of the rottenness of our leadership, what they just want is the politicking. They just want to get the power.
Mr. Emmanuel.
Yes, my dear.
I'm going to have to interrupt you there. Also, I'm going to link this back to where we started our conversation. I think this is something we are not focusing on. So let me deal with, would I support a female presidential candidate? I'm not going to support a female presidential candidate.
Okay, why?
Irrespective of her level of competency and all what have you. And this is the reason. And I'm going to tie that back to our first question. People have to understand the fact that there is a big difference between politics and governance.
Yeah.
Politics is a game. governance is the responsibility that you have towards your people after you have been able to get into governance because you have won in politics. Until we as a people get to that level of consciousness where we feel that when we talk about position of leadership in governance, it should basically be about competence, track record, not about gender. So I'll say this. Picture a scenario where a female emerged on the card of PDP. Are you telling me that we have gotten to that point as a nation where PDP would say, okay, we can accept to put the entire machinery of the party behind a woman to emerge as the president of this nation?
So I'll still go back to what I said when this conversation started. Nigerians are patriarchal. Like we just have it in our head. We won't, like you said. Okay, let me ask you this question before I continue. Your candidate that you said is representing your constituency in the House of Rep, if she should come out tomorrow that, okay, I want to contest for the post of a governor, will you vote for her in?
Of course, I'm not going to make my decision like, I don't have a blanket decision like, oh, I'm going to vote for her. Okay. I'm going to watch her go through the campaign process.
Is it the same way you watch men before you vote for them?
Of course. It's the same way I watch men.
Men are being vetted. Men are being vetted too.
Because men are always having the upper hand. They are always having their way. They don't want to allow the women to come up. Eh?
So what you're saying is that there is a systemic machinations against women from getting to position of leadership.
Very sure.
I don't understand. So how come somebody like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala was given a shot? How come somebody like Obi Ezekwesili? How come somebody like Dora Akunyili? I can begin to count. How come?
They fought their way.
They fought their way.
Yes.
So the rest can join them and start fighting their way.
Of course, others are fighting. Look at Natasha now we are talking about now. Is she not fighting the fight of her life? Is she not fighting the fight of her life? Just because she came up and a man wanted to be sleeping with her and she said, no, I don't want to do that.
No, allegedly.
Of course, that's an allegation anyway.
Allegedly.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is that Nigeria have come to a situation whereby we should begin to open up. Like what my sister said, we should begin to open up and allow some changes to take place. If it is a woman that will bring in the needed change in Nigeria, why don't we allow her?
Okay, so Mr. Edward, I will come back to you, but let him answer the question I asked.
What question?
So your candidate right now, you said if she should come out to contest for the position of a governor, you still vet her. So what are you vetting her on? She's performing right now, and you said she's performing well. From what you're saying, she's
at the House of
she's representing her people well.
Representing just a federal constituency.
She's representing
a different ball game from governing a whole state that has 33 local governments. So the vetting that I subjected her to before I could vote for her at the House of Representatives election is not going to be the same thing. Though now she has a leverage because she has done something. And then I'm going to watch her go through the campaign process. I'm going to see her ability, to gather support from all constituent, assembly in the state. And then I'm going to make my decision. So if she does well in that stage, enough to earn my vote, I'm going to give her my vote.
Okay, so let me ask another question. Now, probably she has contested for the post of governor and she won.
Okay.
She did what she could do with a little bit of drama in between those 10 or probably 8 years with little drama.
No, first, let's do first and first. 4 years.
Okay, so 4 years with little drama and everything. Now, possibly 8 years time, she's coming out, okay, I want to contest for the post of the presidency. And she has governors like Alex Otti, Soludo as competitors. These are governors. Why I'm putting those people as counterparts, because these are governors that are currently working in their states. Would you vote for her? These are people, remember, these are people with proven track record of competence.
So,
would you vote for her?
My initial answer still suffices. It's a different ball game when you go to the House of Representatives. It's a different ball game when you govern a state. It's a different ball game when you want to preside over a nation like Nigeria.
Answer her properly.
What proper answer were you expecting?
Yes, answer her properly. She said, will you vote for her?
Would you vote for her?
So that was why I said my initial answer suffices. I'm not just going to give you a blanket
your initial answer...
Because, like I said, I vetted her when it was time for me to vote for her when she was going for House of Representatives. I'm going to do the same thing if she aspires to the post of governor. I'm going to do the same thing if she aspires to the post of the president. If she merits my vote, so I'm going to give it to her.
Let me go back.
Yes,
let me go back to your initial answer. You said you won't vote for a woman. You first vet her on area of competence, and you gave some criteria you vet her on. And then I said, the people I'm putting as a counterpart are people with proven track record of competency. But they are currently working.
But hypothetically, you also said she just did 8 years as a governor.
So these people
already has a track record, right?
Yes.
In that same 8 years.
Now these people, competence.
Okay.
When you vet them, and maybe she's good in a way, and those people too are good in their way, would you vote for her when it's clear that, okay, if we should put this lady, she is likely to perform. If we should put this man there, they will perform too. Equal chances. Would you give her that same chance?
So I was having a conversation.
You are dodging the question.
I'm not dodging.
You are dodging.
No,
answer her.
You can't box me. You can't box me up.
Answer her so that I can come here.
Don't worry. I'm going to answer her. You can't box me up.
Answer her.
Wait, your guy, Emmanuel. I'm going to answer her. We're having a conversation before we started doing this. And I told you what influences my decision in choosing who I'm going to vote for at the presidential level. Like I said, it's a different ball game when you go to the National Assembly. It's a different ball game when you govern a state. It's a different ball game when you want to govern a nation. You have to be a nationalist. So, while she was at the House of Representatives, quote and unquote, I can't say she's a nationalist because she's representing just my interest, a federal constituency, right?
Yes.
When she became a governor, she was governing my state.
A state.
When she now aspires to become a president, she wants to govern a country. The level of competency, the level of leadership acumen that he requires to govern a nation is not the same as he requires to govern a state. That is why I said in all situations, I am always going to vet based on the position. And if she merits my vote, I'm going to give it to her. But if she doesn't merit it at that national level, I'm not going to give it to her.
Okay, yeah, at the junior level.
I wouldn't call it junior. At the representative
that's the way I look at it.
Okay, at the representative level, I vetted her. She merited it. I gave it to her. At the governorship level, I vetted her. She merited it. I gave it to her. At the presidential level, I'm going to vet her again. If she doesn't merit it, she's not getting it. If she merits it, she's getting it.
So, let me just.
Why was it difficult for you to understand when I said I was going to vote for? I voted for her at House of Representatives. I'm going to vote for her at governorship, and I may not vote for her at presidential election.
Why should you vote for her?
No, I'm not coming from.
Why should you come and be vetting everything? Vetting everything. You want to vet? Want to check? Do all the checks?
Are we supposed to choose our leader without vetting?
Okay. You see what they are saying?
But now, so let me just answer on his behalf. You asked if we are supposed to choose our leaders without vetting. With the current state of Nigeria, we had 3 presidential candidates.
You want to talk about the last election, right?
I want to talk about the last election. Okay. We had 3 presidential candidates, and 2 with proven track record of they've done this in states. The states they govern and they did well. Tinubu came with the whole thing of I governed Lagos and I moved Lagos from where it was to where it is now. Okay. Peter Obi came with I governed Anambra State with proof also, and from where it was and to where it is now. At least I set the step for where it is now. Okay. But we had people that voted for at the last election, they voted for the current government in charge because of
the current president.
Current president in charge.
Right? Okay.
Because of they weren't looking at competence, they weren't looking at work and everything. They were looking at he is my tribe man, he's a Yoruba man.
Oh God. There we go again.
Can I come in? Can I come in?
Emmanuel, before we
allow me to talk.
She directed the question.
You be talking, no?
See that? Okay.
Allow me to talk.
Have the floor.
Because this thing has been boiling inside of me.
Why will you people?
Why will you people be talking about presidency? Was it clear? Was the fight a clear fight? Was it a clear election? Was it clear? We know all the mago that took place in this last election. We know. We know everything that played out.
Okay, Manuel.
Let's understand that.
I don't know.
We know how everywhere was brought up.
I don't know anything. So let me come back to Nita's question.
Okay.
I think part of the problem we have in this nation is that when the conversation favors us, we trump up this tribalism and this ethnicity and the like. I will have you know that that same reason is my tribesman was not there when Peter Obi won in Lagos, right? Tinubu came from Lagos. Lagos is Yoruba state, right?
Yes.
So that's your hypothetical, they voted for him because he's my tribesman. Why wasn't it in place in Lagos? Why did Peter Obi win in Lagos?
So also there are also eastern states, southeastern states rather,
Okay.
that Tinubu won in.
There was
Tinubu,
never.
no, Tinubu won in Imo
There was.
State.
Eh?
Tinubu won in Imo State actually.
By how many percent?
I can't remember, but he won in Imo State.
Okay.
So we can't do that comparison based on that.
I'm not doing
So
comparison.
what
I only
I'm
said
saying
that to correct you, that don't switch it to, oh, they voted. So I always say this when we're having this kind of conversation. You didn't do a survey. So you cannot for a fact say that these are the reason or this is the reason why a people voted for someone. There was never a survey. So you can't speak for a fact. There are plethora of reasons why people vote for who they vote for. You can say tribalism or ethnicity is one of them, but you cannot sound it out as though that is the only reason.
I never said that was the only reason. I just said a whole lot of people came in with that notion. So I think we can also revisit this question later. So let's move to the third question. So in your opinion, what traits makes someone a strong leader regardless of gender?
Wow. There are a whole lot of traits.
Okay.
I think first on my list will be the fact that a leader has to, have the ability to inspire change, to inspire belief, believe, in the people that is to, lead or govern. That you can aspire to greatness and you can give it all it takes, to achieve it. A leader has to, like I said initially, has to be able to inspire change. I mean, in Nigeria, for all you care to know, like somebody said jokingly, there has never been a time that Nigerians were satisfied with their leader. They are always saying, it's the leader, it's the leader, it's the leader. From the 60s to the 80s to the 90s, and then to the late 90s to the stage where we are presently. Every Nigerian is always complaining about the leader. No Nigerian has never pointed a finger at themselves, because the leader that we've always had represented us, they didn't choose themselves. We elected them. And before you bring that your sentiment,
I was going to talk.
Because I know before you before you bring that your sentiment.
When you are talking about elected, all of them elected or kidnapped the election.
Okay, Emmanuel. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Think about it very well. If election doesn't happen, if election doesn't count, why do you think those people spend tons of money trying to campaign to you?
Campaign.
If election doesn't matter, they might as well just go ahead and cook up the number and announce
Of course.
Why do you think they spend their fortune and they spend years to amass
know that
to campaign for you to
everything
vote
was
for them?
bought over, starting from even military to judges, and we know that money we are kept aside for such things, just to make sure that everything is kidnapped.
Okay, I feel that, would you consider using another word? That kidnap where they use that.
I won't lie you, because sometimes when I think about the whole shenanigans that took place during that election, it grieves somebody's heart. You understand? So many things went wrong. Okay, you talk about
just from one candidate or from all of them. Are you part of, okay, let me put it this way. Are you part of the people that believe that it was just only one candidate that, they deployed underhand tactics?
Not only one person, but we know that the one that is master in chief, the one that is a master in chief, the grand master in chief.
Okay, man, you don't have evidence for anything you're saying.
Okay, so let me just draw our attention back to the question.
Okay.
I said in your opinion, what traits makes someone a strong leader, regardless of gender?
Okay, so I mentioned two. I said a leader must be able to inspire change.
Inspire change.
A leader must be able to inspire belief in his people. And, I don't want it to sound like, so I'm going to talk about two more. One, I think, is the reason why I would want to try a woman as a president of a nation. Okay. One is the reason why I would say, because of Nigeria's peculiar situation, there has to be a man. A leader has to be able to inspire love. A leader has to be able to inspire fear. So when it has to do with a leader being able to inspire, love, then I'll give it to women. That is, we've not been able to try, leadership in that position from that perspective. We've tried enough of, a leader being able to inspire, fear. I don't know your,
So let me just cut you then. So, so far, through the history of presidential candidates and leaders of this country, how many of them did you feel the citizens of this country feared?
So let me give you an example.
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to give you more than one that people feared. We feared Abacha. I'm coming.
Okay, wait, before you continue.
I'm coming.
Leave those people that were there.
I'll balance it. I'll balance it.
Okay.
You feared Abacha.
Okay.
You feared the combination of Buhari and Idiagbo. You feared Obasanjo.
Okay.
You did, didn't you? You feared Buhari, didn't you?
Which Buhari? The Buhari we knew then, or the one that just came up now?
Both. You feared both.
Okay, so I think they were feared. Those people, they were feared because of they controlled this country in a military position. Okay. They held this country when the country was under military rule. And they came from, the whole concept came from, this was how they behaved then. Okay. They can still be that person now. Now let us talk about Obasanjo. Obasanjo moved from military to, what is the term for it? Civilian rule.
Same with Buhari.
Yes, Buhari ruled before, then after years he came back again for the civilian rule.
Before after years he came back.
Obasanjo's zone was closed. From military, he moved.
Okay.
From military to civilian, really moved. It wasn't like he went back and came back immediately. After his military rule, he went for a civilian. They voted in him as the first civilian.
No, that's not the way. That's not the way.
He left, came back after 16 years.
Of course, he was in prison. Did you forget?
Okay.
He came out from prison.
But let me get your point.
Okay, so I'm saying that the fear was coming from the thought of who they were then.
Okay.
That was where the fear. You were saying we feared governors. So now let us leave those men that were there as military presidents and talk about those that were just civilian presidents. Putting in mind, let me just state it out there that the president of this country is being bashed on social media, regardless of what people are dragging him left, right, center. Has there been any
Nigerian president that has not been bashed?
So that is where I'm coming from. The term fear. When you say fear.
So let me make you understand why I said a leader has to be able to inspire fear. A leader has to be able to inspire love.
Okay.
There are some level of change that a nation requires that you cannot get except you are able to inspire fear. So let me take you. So I'm going to, like I said, just allow me to balance it. Under Buhari and Idiagbo was when Nigeria started war in this right? That was a period in the history of this nation where people felt, whether compelled or however way you choose to see it, to do the right thing. Because you feared that the person at the helm of affairs is a no-nonsense person. The stick is going to come out. That reputation came with him. I mean, perhaps maybe that was the reason why a whole lot of us, I decided to use us so that I don't exclude myself unnecessarily. Perhaps that was the reason why. I don't understand.
Don't include me.
That was perhaps the reason why many of us felt that when he was returning as a civilian president, he's still going to, use that, inspiring fear to still drive some changes in the country. Same thing with Obasanjo. We recorded some astonishing, progress under his civilian rule. And you cannot tell me that that is not partly due to the fact that he was able, more than inspiring love, more than inspiring change, more than inspiring belief, he was able to inspire fear. There are some people in this nation that, fell in line because they knew that the person at the helm of affairs is a no-nonsense person. He wants results, he's going to get it, he's going to get it done. Like I said, one area where I would probably want to try a woman, because many times Nigerians feel like, oh, presidents, they are all powerful, they don't, like you said, they are bashing the current president on social media, like there has never been a president that they didn't bash. Oh, Nigerians are suffering, he's not listening to the plight of Nigerians. Maybe if a woman had been dead, maybe would have been receiving palliative. I just said that.
Can I come in there? When you are talking about palliative, what kind of palliative are you talking about? Is it the type, the political?
I just said that
the
on
political
the
kind of palliatives they gave out to their party members instead of sharing this thing to everybody. They just corner the thing and put it to their
in their I don't know what you're
talking about.
I don't know where you get all this. I don't know.
Mr. Emmanuel, so he has given the traits he would look for in a leader, regardless of gender. So I'm asking you, yes, what trait will you look out for in a leader, regardless of gender?
Now, I will look out for a leader that is charismatic.
Charismatic.
Yes,
okay.
When I say charismatic, in the way that he inspires people. He inspires people to do the right things. He inspires people, not just when you talk of love. Sir, can I tell you that in China, I don't see their leader inspiring love, because I know that it's a kind of authoritarian regime they have there. But people, they are coerced to fall in line to do the right thing, not until we have a charismatic leader that will lead by example. For instance, when you are talking about Buhari, I thought you would be talking more of Idiabo, because Idiabo was literally the person that was in charge of that regime then, not the Buhari. Because I know when they wanted to kill somebody that was related to him, I mean, I'm talking of Idiabo. Idiabo gave an order for them to kill the young man that went to there were other people that were related to Buhari that he let them go. What I'm trying to tell you is that we need a leader that is charismatic. Then we need a leader that is not only, these days we are not talking about godly, because they can carry Quran on the head, they can carry Bible on the head, but they go and do another thing. They can swear with Quran, swear with Bible, but they didn't swear with Ogu, because they know that Ogu will kill them immediately. They didn't swear with Ogu. They didn't swear with all those things. They know that those things will kill them, but they go to the one that they feel that God will have mercy on them for them to change. Why didn't they swear? Let me tell you, if I have my way, even though I'm a pastor, but if I have my way, when they want to swear in any of them, let them bring Ogu for them, or Kamanu from my side.
What is Kamanu?
Kamanu is a deity that is in my side. Let them bring all those deities for them. Let them swear that if they steal money, let that Kamanu kill them. Let that Ogu kill them. That is the only time we have peace in this country, and people will do things right. But right now, because there's no fear of God, you don't have any fear of God. So we need a leader that is not only charismatic, but we need leaders that are responsible. You see that language? We need leaders that are responsible. Because when you are talking about responsibility, you are talking about, it's an all-inclusive thing, that somebody is responsible. You feel that this is my duty to do. For instance, you see people being killed everywhere. What is the president doing? What are they doing? They go on with their parties, go on with all their travels, and people are being killed. But in US, in US, for instance,
human being.
You say what?
Human being. The total number of killings that has happened as a result of mass shooting in US far surpasses the total number of killings that has happened in Nigeria from 1999.
Okay, can I tell you
what has their president
that the
done?
Their president has
I'm not ready to go into that.
I'm telling you, because
we cannot finish this conversation today.
I know we cannot finish it, but let us be specific. Let's know that we need responsibility in our leadership.
Just as we need the followership.
Yes, we need them. If a leader is not responsible, there's no way he will own up to his mistakes. And that's the problem we're having here in Nigeria.
Because if a follower is not responsible, there is no way you're going to hold on to the
responsibility. When you are talking about leadership, it's all about inspiring others to do the wrong things as well. Because if the leader is corrupt, for instance, like here now in Nigeria, what we are having here, the way they are sharing money, the way they are sharing money, the way everything is going on. I'm not like you, it's annoying. It's very much annoying the way they are sharing money. They are sharing money and they are not responsible. Listen, our children are watching all these things. They are watching everything. What the National Assembly is doing and everything, they are watching everything. Let's understand that.
Okay, so let's just draw it in here. So, Mr. Sampson, in your perspective, what do you think, like, about women now, in general, the topic on hand?
So now, why I was just thinking I think I would support having more women in position of power, and this is just the single reason why I'm in support of that. I think we've tested men over the years, and that's the perspective in leadership. I mean, just like we show perspectives. I think having women in positions of power, like governorship, like vice president, like senate president, like speaker,
and president.
Okay, I'm coming there. I think that will give us a new perspective in leadership. I mean, who knows where that might take us as a nation. So.
Okay, so Mr. Emmanuel, over to you.
Yes, I support the idea that more women should come out. Because of the domineering nature of our men don't want women to come out. Yes, I have to say it the way it is, because our men are domineering. We don't want to allow the women. What I'm saying in effect is the men should allow the women to come out. Let them come out.
The men should allow the women to come out.
Yes, let them allow their wives. Anyway. For instance, if Natasha's husband did not allow her to come and compete, she will not. Let them allow the women.
Okay, so my perspective to the topic on hand is that you said something that women need to offer yourself first. Like you need to signify interest in running for that post. I think we have limited number of women signifying interest, and I think we come from the place of nobody is going to support us. So I think, as a country, as individuals, we should be more open to the idea of women in power. And maybe when a female candidate comes out, I'm not saying just vote for her because she's a female candidate, bet her. And if you feel she stands a chance, we should give her the opportunity to head that office. So,
okay, I mean that's a good way to wrap it up. So,
we have shared our points, we've heard our views, this is our perspectives. Then let's believe that it will get into the head of somebody there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Hello, people. My name is Emmanuel Ezenwa Nwazu. I am an actor. I am a writer. I'm a pastor of a church, and also I'm a physiotherapist and a nature healer. So you can see the multi-talent that God has given to me. Today we've had in our perspective about women in politics in Nigeria and the ability of women to function properly. And then the two people that participated with me in doing justice to that topic did air their views, and some of the views I didn't quite agree with. Some of them I opposed as well. Like my friend Mr. Sampson trying to say otherwise. I know that I can't take it, Women are not allowed to be part of the politics for a long time, and there is something that we are praying and eager for. We want women to take their rightful place in governance, not just in politics, but in governance as well. So because we know that it's not going to be easy for women to just come up and become House of Rep members, senators, governors, or even for us to have a president in Nigeria. I know it's something that is very, very elusive for now. You know, for us to have the president of Nigeria extraction, where they say the woman, the president is a woman like we have in Namibia, where the president and the vice are all female. I don't think for now Nigeria is ready for that. So, of course, I have to bear my mind. Then we still talked about the issue of the quality of leadership that we have in the country. Then, if you look at it very well, you will agree with me that the process of bringing the kind of leadership we have now, the process was mad in so many kind of things, you know, and that's not it's not well. I don't subscribe to that. I want something that is a kind of a process that is clean and neat.
My name is Samson Alamu, and much has been said about women being underrepresented in Nigerian politics and governance. And as much as I would have loved to, go along with that line of thought, I mean, what more? The data backs it up: 4.4% representation at the National Assembly. I think what doesn't cut it for me is that word underrepresented. It will, make it sound as though something belongs to them that we're not giving to them. Maybe what I would feel more comfortable with is saying that there has been fewer women participation in politics and governance in Nigeria. So, I mean, I think I just want to lend my voice to the fact that women should come out more and take active participation in our politics, in our governance. We need, fresher perspective to leadership, fresher perspective to governance, and newer perspective to how our politics, is being played. So I'm calling on all women out there who, have got a dream to take part in Nigerian politics, be embedded in governance solidly. Please come out, go for it. You can do it. We have classical examples of people who have done it. The Okondre Iwealas, the Ekwesilis, the Dora Akunyilis, the Awoshikas of this world. There has been women who have proven that women are indeed capable of handling our, national life. So please come out, join politics, join governance. Let's see what you can bring to the table.